And we're back for another episode of Hard Knock Life, dedicated to the new core of hip-hop, the business, the brand, and the balance between authenticity and entertainment. And of course, we're recording in one of the most authentic stores in New York City, Fresh Aesthetic, home of classic material in New York, on Grand Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I'm not going to get yelled at anymore. But we are breaking down the deals and the real, the bars and the beef. We're connecting the echoes of the past with the news of the present and also with predictions of the future. Obviously, we don't introduce ourselves first and foremost. It's about the conversation, the discussion, and the debate. But I am your host and your moderator, Saul Goodman, lying the best I would my gang like to introduce themselves, starting with my returning co-host.
Guess who's back, fam? DK Marko in the building, New Jersey Juggernaut was good. I know you all missed me because I got none of the text messages that you sent me, but I love you anyway.
It's because you had that fuck-ass Android.
You know what? Just because I don't want to
today's
join
debate's gonna be
the lizard Illuminati that is Macintosh doesn't mean I have a fuck-ass phone, so watch your mouth.
Okay. The gang's here as well. We have Mika, our EP.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
And the most talented man in New York, Modern Marvel. What's up?
Yeah, but
Rise to the occasion.
you're the Instagram star, yo. Out here, fam. It's
You
like,
making it hot?
It's like Chella's Way, Daniel Jean, and then you, Marv. I'm just keep naming YouTube stars. No, sorry, Instagram stars every time I introduce you now. That's all right, though. They got millions of followers.
You're going to be up there. You're going to be up there, 2K. Just 2K. Get out of here. The modesty.
You know, yo, you see this man taking pictures with just half-naked women just draped around him like he Rick James? Just go check the Instagram and the IG story.
Yeah, stop by Fresh Aesthetic so you can see how he's in disbelief and nobody's believing him.
Word.
But we have a returning guest. He definitely came with the smoke the last 2 episodes, and we appreciate him and what he has to offer so much that we're happy to have him back. Project Pratt or Mike Prizzle
or Michael Pratt.
yes.
That's what my mom named me.
Mama named him Michael Pratt. I'm gonna call him Michael Pratt.
That's right. That's a fact.
Yes,
Glad to be back. Thanks for having me back.
we're happy to have you, sir. We also have Melton with us.
Oh, he was one of our first guests.
Yes. Yeah.
Pop that cherry.
Like I never left.
That's true.
He's so profound, like Bruce Willis in Fifth Element. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you remember?
We don't even know. We don't even know.
You don't remember? You
Yeah,
know
how
when
was he
Chris
Do you remember
Tucker-
how profound he was?
Are you talking about in the beginning where he would just say 2 words and
Yes.
Ruby Rod would be like,
But he was profound.
Yes, Chris Tucker was impacted.
He wasn't
deeply.
dumbfound.
more like Kevin Smith in the first couple movies he put out, like Chasing Amy. The only time he ever talks is when he like drops the bomb and explains almost everything.
Right.
Oh, and he was Silent Bob in the Fierce Universe.
Yes.
Nah, he has way more. He's giving me Corbin Dallas. Way more swag than anything. Silent Bob
Corbin
was.
Dallas.
Also, I didn't get a heart attack recently.
But he also changed his life because of the heart attack. Don't even start on Kevin Smith. I'll do
Yeah.
a whole hour.
Yeah,
And he's also from Jersey.
Speaking of profound people, we are back with another topic. You didn't have to scoff like that, Mika. Jeez.
You know my feelings towards him.
So before we get into the topic, just shout out to the next step in human evolution. Woo, we back.
Well, we're back.
Yep.
And we're back for yet another topic. We're not sure how this is going to go, but we're excited nevertheless.
This one hurts my heart. I'm gonna be very quiet and I'm just thinking about the good times from the past.
I would challenge if there ever were good times.
Well, we need to get to the topic and then we can unpack it.
Yeah, I know. I want to make out.
And let's just make sure, for the purposes of this conversation, because it's so hot button, let's just make sure we're answering the question.
Yes.
There's so much to be said about what we're about to talk about. Let's just make sure we're staying on the topic that is trying to be pulled apart
Thank
tonight.
you, Project Pratt, for that great
Little order.
disclaimer. And I'm just going to ask the question. Is Kanye West a troll?
Nah, he's definitely a troll. But I would say there are other aspects to this entire story which make it go deeper. Because there are definitely times where he trolls and does things consciously in order to evoke a response. There are other times where he does things and he's just being emotional and it comes off horribly. So he vacillates, I guess.
What's a troll?
That's a fair one. What is a troll?
Yeah.
What's a troll?
Nah, a troll is someone that purposely says something inflammatory just to get a reaction from other people, and they usually lack conviction behind whatever they say.
So how long has he been a troll for?
His entire career.
So
Why
he
you
was
think
trolling.
me and
He
Dan
was trolling when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
No, he was emotional at that point. And said
Well, no,
it.
he was trolling the president, right?
No, that's a different thing. So Kanye even said himself, "Why
He
you
wanted
think
a
me and Dan
response from the
cool?
president,
We
didn't he?
assholes." Nah. So like, there are times where he's just being emotional. There are times where he's being a troll. Him putting out "Scoopity Poop," aka "Get Lifted,"
Lift yourself.
lift yourself. Sorry, lift yourself is
John
him
Legend
being a
didn't
troll.
get lifted. Don't you dare.
There wouldn't be a John Legend without a Kanye.
He would just be John Smith, or what was his name? John Doe. Anyways, go ahead, please.
He would be John
John
Doe.
from
That
Philly.
was the choir director wherever he's from.
Who was the girl I saw you with? I don't know.
Word.
Youth director.
He would not be dating Chrissy Teigen. I
Good
promise
morning.
you that.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have. Absolutely.
Doing it again. Anyway.
But yeah, nah.
Anyway, so lift yourself. But lift yourself, you said.
No, I'm saying no. That's a prime example of him being a troll. I think the percentage of Kanye being like an artist and being a troll has gone up as time has gone on. But I think he's definitely always done shit just to either be an asshole or to just like boost himself up and just said stuff to like get a reaction from people. I think he's always done that.
I would disagree. I don't think he's a troll. I think now, looking back over the span of his career, I think that he's troubled. I think that he's always been troubled. And I think it's been up to the people around him. The inner sanctum that was connected to his mother, Dr. Donda West, is what continually reeled him in. When you say that he's vacillating between being provocative and being emotional, I see instability in any one of those statements. I think when you actually look at his music career and, you know, his claim to fame was his ability to sample and find sounds and beats and rhythms in the most minuscule ways to create masterpieces. And I think that he does that with his life when he is talking about anything with even a semblance of conviction. Is just a piecemeal of things that he might have heard. I actually went back to look at the scope of how many outbreaks that he's had. He's had many, over a dozen since 2005. Back when he said that in 2005, he said that AIDS was a man-made disease that was placed in Africa just like crack was placed in the black community to break up the Black Panthers.
People have said that before.
When did he say that?
July 2nd, 2005 at the Live Aid benefit concert. And
Like on stage.
yeah.
At an AIDS benefit.
Yeah.
Yo.
And
What
and,
your Twitter around to complain?
no, it wasn't. And then
Yeah.
and then later in the September during Katrina relief efforts, that's when he made the infamous George Bush doesn't like black people statement. Besides the outbursts that he's made around the American Music Awards and the Grammys and the Video Music Awards with Taylor Swift, he also decided to tweet in 2011, an abortion can cost a ballin' nigga up to 50 G's, maybe 100. Gold digging bitches be getting pregnant on purpose. Hashtag strap up, my niggas.
That's not an outburst, really.
Just a little game.
Are we
Little
not
game.
are we not
To be
gonna
told.
are we gonna act like Drake didn't try that same strategy? Like
Well,
Drake
He failed.
no, I know. What I'm
50,000
saying
on my
is,
head is disrespect.
yeah. No.
I think my point is that you wouldn't expect this from Kanye because for at least half of his career, you've considered him to be socially aware. Yes, there is a duality within him. And he attributes that to him being a Gemini and whatnot. But further along at England's Big Chill Festival, he said, "I walked through the
He wasn't
hotel."
very chill, was he? Let me
and
guess.
I-
Let me guess.
And I
Wasn't
walked
chill.
down the street, and people look at me like I'm insane, like I'm Hitler. One day the light will shine through, and one day people will understand everything I ever did.
I am
And
Hitler. I am
right-
Stalin.
Maybe they're looking at you like you're Kanye West. They can walk down the street.
But I think that the man, that's possible. But I think the
Maybe
man
they're
has
like, wait, is
delusions
that
of
Kanye
grandeur.
West, the guy that likes fish sticks?
Yeah.
Yo.
He even talks about how he enjoyed that skit. He thinks South Park is so funny, but they hurt his feelings. I think you see this man and you think of his relationship with Trump, and he's trying to talk about MAGA, Make America Great Again, and how it's a message to bring us together. And ultimately, I see a man that looks at Trump as, okay, I can be unstable and still be celebrated. And I think that's why he gravitates to Trump. As much as I'm disappointed in him, and I don't support his music, I didn't listen to Ye. I'm not gonna listen to whatever this Yandi shit whenever it comes out at the time of us releasing this episode.
Black Friday.
It comes out on Black Friday. He's going back
no.
to Africa to record, and he's gonna release it on Black Friday.
This man it's an instability. I don't
let me
think
tell you
that he's a
something. Let me tell you
troll.
something. Let me cut in real quick. I'm gonna let you get
No,
back to it. But
it's yours.
I've
Floor's
been
yours.
so I've been so furrow browed. I've been so furrow browed when I've read these headlines, just like reading them, just like okay, just like all right, so what's going on? Like when I read the headlines over the past 2 to 3 years. I read this shit today, man. I couldn't stop laughing. It said Kanye going to Africa to finish the album. I was like, bro, like I can't anymore, man. I can't take it. Go ahead. So please continue.
So,
Dude, he's wearing the red. What's the Clayton Bigsby? He's wearing it's the outfit. It's the fucking outfit. So go ahead with your trolling. Is he a troll?
I don't
know.
think
can't tell.
he's a troll. Yes, I'm disappointed. I think he's a sad man that lives in this Calabasas bubble
Yeah, it sounds awful.
that continues to enable
I know.
him.
Beautiful women that we all fawn over. It must be.
I don't
living
fawn
hell.
over any of the Kardashians.
So this word troll is like the word clout or the word influencer now, to where everyone's trolling and we're all just like trying to catch the troll. So they're just gonna troll us and let us catch it, but they're gonna continue to troll us into whatever it is they're trying to troll us into. So yes, Kanye's been trolling his whole career with all sorts of stuff that he's saying. Wearing the polo outfit was a troll when he first came through. He was trolling white people, right?
No.
He's trying to get
No.
acceptance from the white audience.
I
He's
disagree
gonna make
with
super
that.
black music,
Nah.
but he's gonna look like a white dude.
No.
I disagree with that.
It was just him being fresh.
100%. Come on. They don't
No.
put you on MTV if you're talking about the stuff he's talking about.
I disagree because it's like when Jay-Z was like, we're done with throwbacks, we're doing button-ups. And then Kanye came out being like, I'm going to wear polos and have Louis Vuitton backpacks. Which, the reason why Kanye resonated so much with the first 3 albums especially before Graduation came out, was because he was a different type of rapper that hadn't really been represented as much on the commercial scene. He was a dude that I can relate to because I never sold crack. I was into like nerdy shit. And he was just like, I just want to be fly.
Right. Forgive
So,
me for
same.
throwing the
What I-
white
what I- yeah, what-
thing
yeah, what I would
on
say
it.
is-
It wasn't the
yeah.
white guy. It was
different.
in the greater American consciousness, he was essentially like, like it took a while for Donald Glover to be the guy. You know what I mean? Like to be accepted. We're getting on a different topic.
Yeah.
But the other part is, so then he goes on and he's made statements his whole career. He's always had the outbursts. He runs on stage. He wants to say some stuff, not only about Taylor Swift, but he's done that numerous times as well. So yeah, this has just been kind of his thing. At this point, I think that he has always been someone who's been working for the greater good. And every album rollout, he's come out and said some shit that we don't understand. And then 5 years later, it's like, oh, okay. And I'm not saying that any of this stuff is necessarily going to like pan itself out in the next 5 years. But I do think that at this point, his statements are greatly fueled and confused by the fact that he has received endorsements or some bailouts from Trump. And he's having to communicate. Trump's like, promise me you'll wear the hat, right? You can say whatever you want, but just promise me you won't ever talk against me and promise me you'll always wear this hat. And so he's going around being Kanye West, but he has got so much. In order for him to go and build these societies that he's talking about out in Wyoming with the 300 acres that he's purchased, in order for him to make good on all this stuff that he's trying to do for the communities in Chicago and whatever, he's got to have money to do that. And there are certain people who are willing to cut those checks, but it's going to cost you. And if you're going to go and try to do it with Donald Trump, it's just a tall order. It's just a very, very tall order. So what you're seeing is the resistance to that whole idea. We're so against Donald Trump right now. You coming out and saying you love Donald Trump, that's not even a troll. I don't even know how to process that. This dude, have you been around Kanye?
Are you saying
Have
he's
you
after
seen-
that Coke money?
He's what?
Is he after that Coke money from the Koch brothers?
I don't understand what's the statement
The
mean?
investment. They're super rich. They're like
brothers?
cute. The Koch brothers.
Not
The Koch brothers are well-renowned Republican.
For investing in
They
They
like,
basically
elections.
put the battery
Yeah.
in
The
Donald
guys
Trump's
in that,
butt.
like the election, what was the movie with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis?
Well,
They basically funded
I know what you're talking
the
about.
Tea Party.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Okay.
cool.
Yes. All celebrities get money from somewhere. Jay-Z's getting money from a lot of people that have an interest, and this might offend my political connects. That's a real line. Obama on the text. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're either with Obama or you're with, so he's going and he's trolling, but I think he's trying to get us to a better place, wherever that is in his head. But I'm not going to pretend to know what the guy who made Flashing Lights thinks. The guy who's preached this prophecy thus far, I'm going to pretend at this point that I'm smarter than him or that I know the game plan or that he's in the sunken place. Come on, fam. This dude's got so much information and so much access. He's been to play, what's the line on the Kids See Ghost shit? No, not Miami, Switzerland. Like, I'm just talking, like, I think it's always funny how the people on Twitter, and that's what I was saying, was that these other comments didn't get that type of shit because there wasn't Twitter. Twitter is not a forum for conversation. Twitter is a forum for cancellation. So if you want to get canceled, bring your ass to Twitter today. So Kanye knows that, and so he's just going to go to Twitter and fucking say a bunch of shit that's going to get attention. It's going to get some type of like cynicism or some type of.
I want to commend you for shooting so much bail to Kanye West, and I've never heard that theory before. So, nah, for real. And that is, I've never thought of it that way. That is a nice explanation of it. I think between the three of us, we all gave some explanation that might be the truth.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kanye has mental problems that he sometimes deals with, sometimes doesn't deal with, and his inner circle isn't what it used to be. So either they were protecting us from all this, or because the circle isn't there, he hasn't been taking as much care of himself. And then what you said had a lot of truth. The truth being that Kanye, in his mind, is doing everything in his power to progress the culture as he sees fit. So when he says these things, he really does believe that having this conversation about Trump is important, and that the guy that he knows isn't really a bad person because he probably knows him on a personal level. We know Donald Trump on a macro level. When I called him a troll, like, I think he's done there's specific instances when he has been a troll, but like this entire circus that is surrounding him is some manifestation of everything at once. Like with the Little Pump song, the Little Pump song and the Little Pump video, that was done purposely as a troll. That wasn't him chasing clout. That was him being like, yeah, people are gonna think this is stupid and crazy. I'm gonna put it out because
it's gonna
I'm
go
Kanye and
viral.
I can. And,
Right. It's I'm a cow.
and all the art stuff that he's ever done has been like, you got to think of like a first-year art student being like, this is the expression I want to put out, except that person's like 17 and has no budget. Kanye's 41 with an unlimited budget. So when he's like, I'm going to put out clothes that look like we were in the wastelands and everything's going to be a muted color. Yeah, he's just like,
Zion chic.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he just has the money and the connections to do that. Like, he interned at a fashion designer for like a summer before he started doing the fashion stuff.
Yeah.
He takes the stuff seriously. No
Yeah.
person that makes the beats that he makes isn't taking it seriously. And I don't care what anybody says about the albums that just came out.
All right.
Production-wise,
Yeah.
they were all of like a thought, and they were all produced well. Now, whether or not you messed with the vibe, that's on you. But can't tell me that Pusha album wasn't fire.
Right.
And wasn't his best or second best Pusha solo album.
True.
Period. I mean,
Out of three?
yeah. I don't care. Like it's still what it is. It's probably the best one because Pusha has a tendency to put too many songs on the album.
Yeah.
Like I don't need him imitating Mace on the album.
There was
like
really,
7 tracks. Is
Yeah,
fine
there was no
with
girl
me.
record really.
Word. The other thing that I would also bring up, I know the question is Kanye a troll, and it seems like we're getting to a place where it's not like a troll, but this is this really weird thing. Depending on how much you give a crap, you're either gonna shoot Kanye Bell and say there's something larger, or you're just gonna be like, this is a disturbed person right now. Why are we watching this? I'm just someone that's like, I just separated it. Like I listen to the music and I separate it from everything around him.
Yeah.
He has yet to do anything illegal.
Right.
He says a lot of stupid things.
Right.
And I don't necessarily agree with everything. But yo, I watch wrestling. If I stopped watching the wrestlers that like were right wing, I wouldn't have no wrestlers to watch.
Yeah.
So I can separate the two. You know, in certain cases, I don't. Like I don't separate R. Kelly's outside life from his music because one, there have been charges, and two, there's like actual abuse to children. Kanye just has some views that I don't agree with.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is that now that we're in this cancel culture with Twitter especially, it's that Twitter shit will create such a noise to where somebody will lose their job or will lose their hobby. So it gets that kind of reaction. So is Kanye a troll? He has been trolling with his thoughts his entire career. Putting a song about God in the club is a troll by today's definition. But if trolling is trendy now, he's like, well, I know how to do that. I've been doing that. I just didn't know it was all right. So here, I'm gonna put on. I know this is gonna light it up. Let me get Leor and Lucian, or what was the dude's name from Universal? Let me get them in the picture. Doug Morris, and we'll take a picture. I'll wear the MAGA hat, and it'll be me, a Jew, and a white guy, and this will really set it on fire.
But
so I'm gonna step in because in responding to I think both of y'all with at least accepting or at least acknowledging Kanye's brilliance or how he might have been carrying himself and the mission that he might believe that he has. And for me, I doubt both of those. At this point, I doubt his brilliance outside of his music, and I doubt his sincerity. I say that because there's no mention of any of the things that Trump might be helping him with. He talks about how he's his brother. He talks about how he wanted to run for president in 2020 and all his friends laughed him out. Trump was able to do it and he became president. He doesn't speak of things like actually helping the community. He talks of dragon energy.
He's not ready to. He's not running. He's not on the campaign trail yet. He's not gonna talk about what he's gonna. He's not gonna start promising shit.
So to continue, when he is held to task, he breaks down. I've seen it several times. With the interview with Charlemagne, where I could see Charlemagne pulling back from asking those hard questions because I don't know if Charlemagne felt that he was capable, whether he didn't think about it or because he was emotionally vulnerable. I don't know, but there were clear opportunities for Charlemagne to ask some hard questions.
No. Anytime you see somebody like that struggling to answer a question, especially something that Kanye's being asked, where it's probably not just what color's the sky. You know, he's probably being asked something that's pretty hard hitting and deep, especially right now. Charlemagne's asking those questions, and he even answered one of them and said, "I have to give this answer for the stockholders." There's a lot of money in this dude right now. Kanye West is a brand. He's a corporation, and he's trying to get other brands and ideas out. So he's needing money from whomever. So if Trump says, "Hey, man, come take a picture with me, and I'll cut you a check for whatever," Kanye's like, "Damn, they're gonna go crazy if I go take a picture with Donald Trump." But I bet you.
To continue, Kanye would not have burned as many bridges as he has over the course of his career if that's what he's interested in. So you talk about, oh, maybe the music is going to hit 5 years from now. Yeezus is not hitting the way it's supposed to. And that's when he was giving out the rent.
I listened to Pablo all weekend. That shit sounds amazing right now. Have you listened to Pablo recently? That shit sounds great.
now, but
That shit
when
sounds
it was being
fucking
rolled out,
amazing.
it was a clusterfuck. Yes, it's a great album
because of what
But
happened while it was
what
coming out.
I'm talking
it messed
about
up the presentation.
Yeah, I get that, and that
Kept adding
The Life of
songs,
Pablo
changing
is
songs.
probably like the beginning of this whole streaming presence that we have. But with Yeezus, he was talking about his issues with the fashion industry, but he's burning bridges. So for me to say that now he's willing to open up and welcome people for that help, calling out Mark Zuckerberg because he needs money is not an effective way to get funding. Also, not just with Charlemagne,
It gets the attention that he needs. Talk
Also-
about trolling. He's going to troll Mark Zuckerberg into a phone call.
he's still not getting the funding. And like nobody is responding to these things. If you're not willing to play the game,
You don't
this-
know that.
This
you
is the
can't-
other
You
thing.
can't say that.
Wait,
you can't
wait.
say that no one's responding to these things.
But hold on. So it seems as though your theory is that Kanye is purposely perpetrating a fraud in order to get capital for some larger
I'm saying
endeavor.
that at this point,
that
Kanye is
what you're
trolling
saying?
Donald Trump. At this point, Kanye's trolling Donald
But I
Trump.
don't-
And let me tell you why. When you look at this shit that he's been doing this year, and you see two sides, and everybody's like, oh, he's dealing with this Gemini, he's dealing with this. Bro, he's trying to communicate ideas to black people while making sure he doesn't fuck up money with the white people.
I kind of
there's
disagree.
no part of Donald
Every
Trump.
time they ask him about Donald Trump, he has to get quiet. He can't even say anything. He
There-
can't even say da 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 da. He has to think for 2 to 3 minutes before he answers a question. Watch those interviews.
there is
Go back and
no
watch when they ask
part-
him about Trump. He has to think about his words.
There is no part of Donald Trump's track record over the last 2 to 3 decades that will lead anybody to believe that Donald Trump is actually going to partner with him. He
Yep.
uses people.
I don't know, bro.
No,
everybody
I
was
do.
partying
I
with
do.
him.
Ask-
Everybody was partying with
Ask,
him.
yeah, he's a sideshow.
Yes.
That's okay.
So if
Everybody
you're
likes to
saying
clown.
that no one has any reason to believe that this dude's loyal based on money, everybody who was fucking with Donald Trump was fucking with him in business.
Jay-Z was at the Trump International.
Get the fuck
No, yeah,
out of
they-
here.
no, there are a lot of
Everybody was
Trump
making
ones.
money with Trump. Trump, he's on TV. Whatever, he's a celebrity. And then he becomes president. Everybody says, well, I would never trust him with my... Okay. Well, then
Yeah,
why?
I can party with anybody. I don't need to trust him with my funds. I don't need to believe in
Wait.
him. I certainly don't have to
Oh, wait,
support
hold
his
on.
What I'm
presidential
saying
run.
is that they were trusting him with the funds before he was president.
don't-
And
I
then he
don't
came
think
out as
they
president
were.
as a huge troll.
Yo, wait.
and now- Go ahead,
so,
go ahead.
so it's a fact that he was a celebrity, right? But the other thing was he's been a scumbag for forever socially, right?
Oh my
Whether
God.
It's
Oh my God.
whether
He's a
it's not
unicorn.
allowing minorities
A white
or
scumbag
people,
businessman?
Yo, no, I know that. But what I'm saying is whether it's been proven, right? He has practices of not letting people of color and marginalized communities live on his properties. He also took out a full page ad on the Central Park 6.
This is
And
America.
it- five,
This is
sorry,
America.
Central Park
This is
5.
America.
And
Yep.
then after they were proven innocent, he was like, I still would do the same shit.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't understand, and it seems like what you're saying, is that Kanye is doing this because he's trying to get money from Trump.
Yes.
And he's using
I don't
that
think he's
money.
trying anymore. I think he's got it. He's been
so
paid.
So
Check clear.
you're thinking that he's getting payments from Trump, right?
Yes, 100.
I find
Trump
that
who's-
hard to believe.
Yeah.
I don't.
Trump
Didn't
is,
Kim meet with Trump this year about getting somebody out of prison?
she's done it several times because they're trying to
okay.
work
And-
on prison
Okay, so
reform.
maybe there's a close Kim
But that's-
Kardashian. Maybe the
Hold on,
Kardashians and the Trumps are kind of
wait,
close, huh?
wait.
I don't know.
Wait.
I'm just guessing.
It just
if he's in the
seems-
sunken place, then why
it
couldn't
just-
he be a puppet for Trump right now?
But no, there's like a logical fallacy somewhere in there, right? We're
Oh, it doesn't make
trying
sense?
to get he's
No.
trying to get money and capital from a person who's been proven to be bankrupt several times over, and it doesn't seem like he spends money correctly and that he's a paper tiger. That's what it seems like Donald Trump is.
And
Real
based
talk.
on everything that Kanye
But-
said in the public, do you think that Kanye gives a good goddamn or has done his research on that? He just knows Donald Trump equals money and got a president.
Wait, now you know. Wait, the one thing you did say, do you think Kanye did his research on that? And I think we've all seen that Kanye probably has never done his research. Kanye even said himself.
I don't know.
doesn't
He's been
read,
posting
right?
pictures of dictionaries. I gotta
No,
think that he pays attention to
but
something.
yo, people were reading dictionaries to write better bars in high school, and that shit was stupid then. So, so I'm just saying. But the thing that I don't get right is why we really
just
care
why.
about Kanye's opinion on anything that isn't music. I don't ask the person that makes my sandwich
Where's Ja?
about
Where's
what
Ja?
the best fit of my jeans is, fam.
It's where's Ja?
I mean,
But it's because he's been outspoken before about
Yeah.
things that matter. It is where's Ja. But it's Kanye and he's been for the cause, right?
What's the cause?
yeah.
cause of bringing pushing black people in America forward. I
Wait,
imagine.
I mean,
By alienating black
no,
people,
I
like
From
the entire
jump, I'm
the
not
entire
talking about
the
right
community.
now. I'm
but
talking about
if,
when they started out, Alpha Step. I mean, Never Let Me Down. Like I don't know, Arrested for the Sit-ins. With that, in my
He
blood.
has-
I was born to
he's
be different.
alienating.
This type of
All
shit
right,
that he's
hold on,
talking
Mika,
about
you
on
had
record.
something that
Watch
you
the
wanted to say.
Throne. Come on.
No, he has a platform like Kyle. You're like, you wouldn't ask your sandwich guy what size pants, right? You
Yeah.
wear. However, he has a platform where he has to say something, and like people listen to him. He has fans that care about what he says. So when he says something about politics, it makes sense. Like everyone's gonna listen and everyone's gonna care.
It's gonna
what he says.
influence
But
either
that's-
way.
It influences people because people are dumb.
Yeah,
So
people are willing
this,
to be led.
and I've had this argument before, and it like kind of like strained a friendship, like real talk. Like, why do we care? Like, why do we care what these celebrities are saying? Like, I
Because we're
listened to
looking for
Jadakiss when I was in
somebody-
hye school. I didn't sell drugs.
But we're looking for somebody to make us feel. We're looking
Okay,
for
so-
somebody.
all right, so
Okay.
We're looking
No,
for
so we're gonna
someone.
circle back for-
we're looking for
circle
someone to
back
make
to
us
our-
feel comfortable with the situations that are going on.
the entertainment community, the entertainment cast of the black community has always been at the forefront of social issues. Always. For as long as the civil rights movement has even existed, they've been at the front. Yeah, we had Martin Luther King at the front of marches,
But there's
we
one
also
Muhammad
had
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
There's one Muhammad Ali though.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
But
one Kanye West. Jay-Z is not talking like this.
This is
But he's
the
not
point I
being
want to actually
outspoken about
make.
any of it.
This is a point I want to make. When you have your
fighting with George
peers,
Zimmerman.
when you have your community and your peers that are all disappointed in what you're doing.
When all this Kanye stuff started, Chance flipped. Chance, he came out, he said something. He said something to like kind of defend Kanye,
He ain't
but then
got the
flipped.
he
But
ain't built for
wait. He flipped. T.I. was on air. T.I. did a song with him and then was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Pusha was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And Pusha's the president of his company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about, you don't know if anybody's like turning on him or like his peers are rejecting him at this point, right? At least
Publicly.
yeah,
at least publicly.
publicly,
To
right?
protect their investments.
But there's also, so like I don't
I'm not-
necessarily see this as a sinister Machiavellian Manchurian candidate type of scenario. I literally see it as a guy that's not that well informed. Like Kanye to me is a black Israelite on the corner of 34th right now. Like he's just shouting into the air.
Okay.
And then some people are gonna listen and some people aren't. I choose not to listen.
A lot of people are gonna listen.
A lot of people are going to
But
listen
why-
because
like,
of the
why?
loyalty to the music. And this is a point that to build off of what you had said at the very beginning. Kanye West has inspired a lot of people. Kanye West established a place for a lot of people in the new millennium that was gone. The native tongues weren't around in the same way. They were definitely prominent in the early 90s, but Kanye West gave a voice to a lot of people in hip hop. And there's always going to be that sense of loyalty for a lot of people. They will justify. I mean, like you can look at what is happening with Trump supporters when you see some of the political moves that Trump is making that are not good for the country, but they're going to believe in Trump. And you can see the same type of loyalty for Kanye West fans. You actually had a pretty well thought out theory on what Kanye West is doing, but I think the vast majority of his supporters are not considering his actions as critically.
I agree, and that's why you have a mob mentality that says fuck Kanye West, because no one's actually listening to what he's saying. Someone's saying, what'd Kanye say? And they say, oh, he said slavery was a choice. Well, that's not what he said. But that's what the headline was. So
He
that's what
literally
you got.
wrote 400 years. That sounds like a choice. What
Is that slavery was a choice? The quote, everyone runs around with the tweet, and it's in quotations, slavery was a choice. The word for word is, I don't know, 400 years? That sounds like a choice. And then what you got in response was the people in this America in 2018 saying, Kanye, stop talking about how we're slaves out here. Because he's talking to all of us now. We're all under this shit to where he's going to say, I love Donald Trump, which is just the opposite of fuck Donald Trump. And we're going to try and go hang Kanye at the stake. What the fuck are we doing? We're being trolled into hating him.
We're not being,
And
we're
that's
not,
only extending our energy.
I don't think we're. Who's
Look at me, I'm
trolling us into,
sweating.
who's trolling us into hating Kanye West? You think
Kanye West is!
Kanye's trolling us into hating Kanye West, but to what end? I mean, I think he's trying to be like, yo, I'm just trying to
But it's not
expand
just
thought.
him,
I'm
right?
just
You
trying
got
to think
him,
further
you
than
got Nicki, you had Eminem do it last year.
What?
You have these
What
people
are you talking about?
who are trying to get us to hate them so that then they can redeem themselves.
When was M trying to get us to hate him?
He got him to hate us on the Revival album, and then he came right back with Kamikaze.
But so you're saying
You saying he
Em-
intentionally put out a bad album?
He made 2 albums. He said, I got 2 more albums left in this deal with Interscope. I'm going to make one with all the pop shit, and I'm going to troll people. What else am I going to do? I'm out of ideas. I need some sort of gimmick. I need some sort of game.
Whoa. All right. So
Brother,
like,
It's
I-
facts.
I-
It's
the levels to which that I disagree with you are tantamount to the Titan Atlas holding up the Earth. That's how much I disagree with you. So I don't think Nicki. I don't want to get into.
They
Nicki's
need
mental
bad guys
story.
like me.
Yeah,
they
no, no.
need bad guys
Hold
like
up.
me
That's
so they can get on their
different, though.
keyboards and type.
That's different though. First, that's
Me,
different.
the bad guy.
Let
When
me
has Nicki
explain-
ever been the bad guy?
Always.
She's been the
She's
only
always,
girl.
She's always been a bad guy. And
She's
always
been the
petty.
queen.
Yeah, she's been petty, but she's been petty since.
But they
petty
are
was
making
petty.
her a villain.
But no. So hold on.
Her shit ain't even rocking like that.
Ganja burn, ganja
Everybody
burn.
knew it.
He did make that.
And she's loving it. She's loving it. But this is something that they're trying because of Tekashi, because of what they see
You
these
are-
kids doing on the internet, trolling with bad behavior and getting some type of response. But it's not working. It's not working.
Oh my God. So nah.
Final thoughts. How do y'all feel about Kanye West? Is he a troll
100.
or not?
I do think he's trolling, but I feel like it's not having the effect that he wanted to have. It's more people are just gonna ignore him than have any strong feelings.
Well, you would hope they would.
Well,
I wish they would. That would be great.
So I think, like I said before, I think it's a mixture. I think he purposely puts out things in order to troll people, but I also think that he's just not well informed about things that he talks about, and that's very apparent. Like I said before, Kanye West is screaming into the wind. Everybody's taking a bait and listening to him. I choose not to listen because it's nonsense from Jump Street.
Yeah, he's a troll. He's been a troll for a long time, and I think that he's started saying things that we just don't like hearing as his fan base, as the people that have trusted him to speak only in our best interest. And right now the things that he's saying don't look like things that would suit our best interest. They're not in line with what we have been as a country sort of together in thinking and feeling since Trump has been elected, basically. And it seems like this guy has only gotten closer and closer to him, to the point where he's wearing his hat. You play with fire when you do that. And it's only somebody like Kanye West. I'll leave you with this. Jay-Z did a Breakfast Club interview back when he put out the Magna Carta Holy Grail. And they asked him about Yeezus. And he said that, he thought it was a polarizing album. And that's, obviously the type of artist that Kanye West is. And that he's sort of the guy that they send over the mountain to kind of see, like, who all's over there. Like, let us know. And he said he goes over that hill and, man, he gets attacked. And he runs back and he says, there's a lot of them over there. He said, but then we come and join them. So right now, everybody would just scoff in awe if we were to say, yeah, Watch the Throne 2's dropping in January with Jay-Z and Kanye West. They wouldn't even be able to fathom that because of all the shit that we've seen and the symbolism and what all that stuff means, and people just follow what they look at. But when those people, Beyonce, Jay-Z, whenever they all come back and support their brother and go up on stage with him the next time, it will be very interesting to see how quickly the conversation turns and what it turns into. Kanye's done a lot of damage. It's super damaging. You're coming out here and you're playing with people's emotions. You're playing on people's feelings. You don't really look like you know what's going on. But once again, that man's got way more money than I do. He knows way more people than I do. He's seen way more parts of the world than I have. So I got to think that he's got some information that I don't have.
Why is
And for
it
me to
his
assume that my
responsibility
Twitter
for
fingers,
people not being discerning?
huh?
Like, people should be able to discern their own truths. And if somebody you admire is telling lies, you're just like, all right, I'm out.
And my final thought is I do not believe that Kanye West is a troll. I think that we're definitely in awe of these celebrities, these global icons, these artists who are making that could potentially be timeless works of art. But at their root, they're still human beings. They're not infallible. They make mistakes, and sometimes they double down on those mistakes. I think a lot of these artists, they definitely have amazing teams. Kanye decides to be very hands-on, and in that, you're seeing a man who can be very vulnerable and misinformed. And I don't think that sometimes his team is helping him guard from his demons. But these are our opinions. We would be happy to have your own. So definitely check us out on our social media accounts, HKL Podcasts, on both Twitter and Instagram. We'd be happy to hear what you have to say. And finally, we know that this is a hard not life, but we hope you're all making it look easy.
Peace.
Until
Come
Nigga.
on. Jesus Christ, it's been gone for like 2 weeks.
damn, really?
Damn it.
I was patient.
He was ready too. That's it. We done.